So, they found it again, have they? I thought we'd taken care of it.
The forces of evil are persistent, sir.
I'm getting too old for this. Who have we got lined up to deal with this problem?
Murphy, sir.
Oh, no, not Murphy.
Afraid so, sir.
What about Spade or Marlowe?
Dead, sir.
Isn't there anyone else?
Sorry, sir, he's next on the list.
Well, I suppose we'll have to make do. Knowing Murphy, he's going to need help. A lot of help.
I'll check the archives and get back to you, sir.
News of the day. As the Second World War enters its final days, Allied forces are on the march. The troops of the Western Alliance are occupied with the dangerous duty of ferreting out the remaining pockets of Nazi resistance. The storming of Berlin has crushed the heart of German opposition and sent remnants of the Fuhrer's troops scurrying into the dark reaches of the Black Forest. The Germans have vowed to fight to the last man in their quest for world domination. But their days are numbered, with Adolf Hitler dead and the once dreaded SS disbanded. The Allies have exposed the workings of the Nazi war machine and found it festering with ancient blood cults, whose rituals and ceremonies are too astonishing and barbaric to detail. Allied forces will not rest until the last cult member has been revealed and captured.
No pestilence has ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar blood.
In the moonlight, New San Francisco sparkles like a chunk of cubic zirconium, an island of hollow beauty surrounded by a red sea of radiation. 5 million souls drowning in gamma rays. Some lucky people have a natural immunity to genetic mutation caused by the radiation. I'm one of them. Most of them live in the new city, but I don't. I live among the unlucky souls, the mutants and the destitute, and the wreckage of old San Francisco. My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a private detective. Or at least I used to be. Since my marriage hit the rocks, I haven't done much of anything. I went out tonight for the first time in a week, but all I ended up doing was spending the last of my money on a bottle of cheap bourbon. Now it's past midnight, and I'm staring out of the window of my office on the second floor of the Ritz Hotel. Just like me, the Ritz used to be something. Now it's just another grimy building in a rundown part of town. And I'm almost out of bourbon.
My God, Murphy, you look like hell. Really hit bottom, didn't you?
Oh, I usually don't look this bad. I forgot to take my Geritol this morning. So, you want a drink? I saved my first one to have with you.
No, thanks. I've been dry for 8 years now. Yeah, one morning I just looked in the mirror and decided I needed to make a few lifestyle changes. Quit smoking, quit drinking. Now I'm getting out of the business. Yep, I'm going to move to the tropics and retire in a nice secluded island with a tribe of beautiful young women.
You're getting out of the business? I guess that means the end of the world must be around the corner because you are the detective. I can't imagine you doing anything else, especially not running around an island with a bunch of nubile women in a loincloth.
Oh, I can imagine it. I've been thinking about it for years now. Yeah. You know how it is. Lonely. Underappreciated. Dangerous. I haven't had a decent night's sleep in 38 years. I tell you, I'm working on a case right now, and that's going to be my last one. Oh. Enough about me. How about you, Tex? How's life treating you? Bad as it looks?
Well, it depends. What day is it anyway today? Saturday? Well, Saturdays aren't too bad. It's normally Thursday by the time I get really suicidal. So what is it you wanted? Just come by to sprinkle a little salt into the open wounds of my pathetic life?
No, Tex, you got me all wrong. Just because you turned me in and got me suspended and humiliated me in front of my peers. You sold me out. But that's all in the past. See, I quit hating you for that weeks ago. Like I said, I'll be leaving soon, and I didn't want to go with any loose ends dangling there to bother me in my golden years.
Hey, don't worry about me. When you tossed me out of the agency, it was the best thing that ever happened. Digging through dumpsters and sleeping in abandoned speeders. You helped me learn a great lesson. Because no matter how bad things are, they can always get worse.
So what happened to you? I heard you were doing pretty well there for a while. Did a hell of a job on that Martian Memorandum case. What's your problem? You one of those people who can't live with success? Huh?
Well, I can live with it. I'm just afraid of commitment. Now you tell me something. Why wouldn't you talk to me 15 years ago? I was a stupid kid back then. Could have tried to understand why I told the ethics board what I did. I mean, I understand now that I was out of line and I made a mistake, but why'd you cut me off like that?
Because apparently you never learned the first rule of a PI. And never, ever betray your friends. Now, friendship goes beyond blood and race and politics. You gotta find out who your friends are, then you hold on to them. They're a precious commodity to people like me and you. Now listen, before I go, I came here with a warning. I heard your name mentioned in connection with a case that I'm working on, and you stay out of it. If you don't, somebody's gonna find you floating in the bay with a hole in your head. And I don't need any more strain on my conscience.
You know, frankly, I'm pretty insulted. Because I'm a pretty damn good detective, and I can take care of myself, thank you.
Go! Just remember what I said, Tex. Got no idea what kind of people we're dealing with here. Just keep out of my way. I'll send you a postcard.
So last night, after 15 years, the colonel walks into my office. It made me take a good hard look at myself. Maybe I have hit bottom, and maybe I do look like hell. Lord knows the only exercise I've had lately is tipping the bottle and flipping cards into my hat. I gotta find some work. Contrary to what the colonel might think, I'm as good a detective as he ever was. Now I just gotta prove it. I'm gonna scare up a job today, even if it means finding somebody's lost puppy. This pure mountain spring water is indispensable, literally. I'm out of paper cups. My phonograph's an old family heirloom. I love to play the classics. Kool and the Gang, Peaches and Herb. Oh boy, mail. That's the door to the street. A pre-approved electronic shop credit card application addressed to the previous occupant. Just needs to be signed, stamped, and mailed. The office was actually a dance studio before I moved in, and Latin dancing is a Murphy family tradition. Great-great-grandpa Murphy made it through the Depression by teaching cha-cha lessons to rich older women. He made thousands before... My gun. I love it so much! Old trusty sidearm. Been with me since the beginning. You want some of this, huh? Bam, bam! Hey, bam, bam, bam! Bam! Bam, bam! Bam! And you! Hey, Sonny, can you help me out? My girlfriend threw my gun out of the window. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just pick it up and, hey, don't point that thing up here. That's not a toy, you know. Oh my hell. No matter how bad things got, I always had my gun. Now I've lost that too. I have a feeling this is gonna... Things look pretty slow on the street today. The Scotch Guard that Rudy's upholstering service put on my office chairs will stand up to anything, and I ought to know. Oh, great. Another incoming message that won't print out. If I don't get a new fax machine, I'll be out of business. This cabinet is where my old successes go to die. The UI of U was the only place that would accept me. Half the course credit was earned by locating the university. I spent weeks earning this baby. Best 20 bucks I ever spent. This one really isn't art, it's a placemat from Taco Bob's. This piece of art is called Two Whales on a Bender. CrimeLink computer is the only valuable piece of equipment left in the office. By entering suspect information like height, weight, and hair color, I can access... I love my comfy chair. I just wish it wouldn't be so easy to tip over whenever I got drunk. That hutch holds a life's worth of knickknacks, paddywhacks, and the world's largest piece of elbow macaroni. Another pile of garbage. There just aren't enough hours in the day. Well, since the building inspector has only one eye and no depth perception, the hotel manager painted fire extinguishers in all the apartments. I call this painting The Big Spill. That's a perfect bed for a destitute PI. Small, lightweight, no sheets required. The stupid light switch is stuck in the on position. Could be worse, I guess. All I've ever needed was a soft felt fedora, a well-tailored overcoat, and a comfy pair of sneakers. Some people know what they like, and they the fabulous Dior lamp. I bought it for 77 cents. World War IV. A dark and reactionary vision of the coming century by Rush Limbaugh III. I love murder mysteries. To be a fictional detective. Everything would be so much simpler then. Hip-hop English keeps me up on all the slang kids are using today. My phone would work perfectly if it hadn't been disconnected. Toxic Taste is a novel by Lou G. Trundle, the only mutant popular enough to make the New York Times bestseller list. Sylvia, my ex-wife. Whenever I think things can't get any worse, I think about her and how she told...
Oh, there you are. I just got done with the chair. I'll be sending the bill to your husband.
Oh, Rudy. Let's not think about my husband right now. I was watching you upholster and you're so big and strong.
Do you really think so?
Well, yes. God, I've only known you for 10 minutes and I feel like I've known you forever. Oh, yes, look. And look at this muscle. Oh. The way you hold me, Tex never held me like this. Oh, kiss me, Rudy, and set my lips on fire.
Okay.
Oh, Tex, honey. I wasn't expecting you home so soon.
Well, duh. Obviously. Now I know why the Roto-Rooter man keeps calling and asking whether we need our plumbing checked. Well, I gotta admit, those chairs look pretty good.
Thanks. Listen, how about I don't charge you on the labor and we call it even?
Fair enough. But from here on out, Rudy, customer servicing doesn't include my wife.
See, honey? I saved you some money again. Aren't you happy?
I married her for better or worse. Unfortunately, it never got any better. This here is my favorite desk drawer. Most of these desk drawers haven't been used for so long, I'm afraid to open them. Nothing in here but a stamp. One last $10 stamp waits patiently to be licked and mailed. Most of these desk drawers haven't been used for so long. This is probably the only writing utensil that works in the whole office. I need to run this thing down to the auto post box on the street. The air outside feels thick, like I'm breathing through a pair of dirty gym socks. It's a high radiation day. Most everyone will be staying inside, but I need to hunt for some work. I always like to start the day with the traditional PI breakfast. That hits the spot. Stop requiring products to display those give-a-hoot don't pollute. My trusty 31 lightning bolt speeder. I still regret not getting the sunroof option. On the top floor of this place is where I hang my hat. It's not much, but it's better than... well, it's not much. On the top floor of this... it's all locked up. The only way I'm gonna get inside is by using my innate cleverness or ingenuity, or maybe a key. These garbage cans seem to be in good shape. Too bad nobody uses them. This is where Louis throws out the garbage. Street people come from miles around to sample Louis's award-winning leftovers. Louis Laments runs the Brew and Stew, which is a local hangout. Well, this is a section of the Bay City Mirror. It's a weekly newsletter that covers local goings-on written by mutants for mutants. Well, that's not gonna work. Francesca Lucido makes the spiciest pizza in the city. The only thing spicier than her cooking is her imagination. Man, there are signs of radioactivity everywhere. Surprisingly, the auto postbox has no graffiti on it. Maybe people around here are finally starting to respect our government. The Postal Service has gotten much faster since the stamp price went to $10. I should get my credit card back tomorrow morning. Rook Garner runs this pawn shop. He's a crusty old World War III vet with a face like a raisin and a tongue like a butcher's cleaver.
What do you want, Murphy?
Fine. How you doing, Rook?
I'm not in the mood for small talk.
Well then, by all means, let's discuss a serious topic.
Breaking, entering, and robbery serious enough for you, Murphy? Last night someone broke into my pawn shop. I don't usually have anything of great value, but yesterday I gave out a fair amount of cash for an extremely valuable diamond bracelet.
How much is a fair amount of cash?
In this case, $8,000.
Boy, that's a lot of clams, Rook.
Don't you think I know that? The bracelet was pawned by a young girl named Emma Nimpton. She said she hated to hawk a family heirloom, but had no choice. She said she would reclaim the bracelet in a month. Well, since the bracelet was worth 10 times the $8,000 I loaned her, it was a good deal for me.
Did you get any other information from this Emma Nimpton?
She left a phone number. I called her this morning, but the line is disconnected.
So do you have any leads on recovering the bracelet?
No, the police are a waste of time, and I can't afford to hire a decent PI.
I guess this means you don't consider me good enough to help track down the bracelet?
I'd appreciate your help. I'm not a rich man, but if you find the bracelet, I'll owe you a few favors, which could come in handy.
Rook takes me out back and shows me where the burglar broke in. The back window is busted out and the latch is ripped. It's a sloppy job. As I start my investigation, I'm looking for information to enter into my CrimeLink computer back at the office. One thing's for sure, Emma Nimpton won't be one of the suspects' names. Every PI worth his salt knows that's not my name spelled backwards. This building that Rook runs his pawn shop out of is at least 120 years old, making it only slightly younger than Rook. I wonder what all these garbage cans are doing around here. Maybe Rook is running a low-rent hostel. An empty bottle of evanescent spring water, for those with a higher class of thirst. These are empty jumbo-sized cans of Camel's chunky chocolate soup. Good. The baby rum wrapper looks like it was left recently. Yep, still warm. Looks like a shoe print is outlined in that sticky pool of something resembling chocolate. Footprints about a size 14. Like Rook always says, you can cut corners here and there, but there's nothing like a quality garbage can. Well, obviously, the window was broken from the outside. These are empty jumbo-sized... Shard of glass must have come from that broken window. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Looks like whoever broke into Rook's window left one of his hairs behind. Apparently our burglar is a carrot top. Looks like a key of some kind. Every time I see yellow-gray water oozing out of a gutter, I just can't help but thirst for a cup of coffee from the brew and stew. The empty bottles of chocolate syrup lying all around this alley all look like they've been licked clean. Whatever's on the other end of this power box must be out of commission. The gauge is as dead as my love life. Another billboard advertising cosmetic surgery. It's big business these days. Mutants with money will pay anything to look like norms. Reminds me of playing hoops when I was younger, in the days before my lower vertebrae turned into petrified rock. It's one of those basketballs they used to give away at Weenie World. "10 seconds left, down by 1. Murphy has the ball. He fakes, he drives. It's a 360! He's foul! This chain link fence doesn't seem to do much, except separate Rook's ugly half of the alley from Franny's Well, that steep staircase looked really hard to climb. Looks like someone's back door opens onto the fire escape. I don't usually enjoy piles of garbage, but they do add a lot of character to this alley. It feels like somebody's watching. Someone really weird. Hey, this door's just painted on. Wow, a recyclable paper can. Finally, a glimmer of ecological responsibility. Whoa! This antique boombox worked. I bet it'd only play the Bee Gees. This old relic probably hasn't worked in years. Hey, there are batteries in here. I wonder if these still work. Tingly tongue. Still got juice. Oh man! This dumpster smells like 20-year-old mayonnaise, and I ought to know. Well, I'll be darned. Except for the filth and stench, the interior isn't much different than the average studio apartment. In fact, it's nicely furnished. Someone's been living here, and I wonder if he saw anything. Oh, I would love to see my ex-mother-in-law squeeze through there. Chelsea's a hot little number. I hear she's a mutant, but it doesn't show. The only weird thing about her is she won't go out with me. Chelsea Bando's the kind that could hold her own with anyone, but she has a way of turning my knees to jelly. She's a mutant just like everyone else in this part of town, but she's a real beauty.
Well, hello, stranger.
Chelsea, you're breaking my heart.
Why? Because I've got a steady job?
No, it's just you're so beautiful it makes me ache. Let me buy you a drink and I'll tell you where it hurts.
Gee, Tex, you know, that kind of talk could get you into trouble. But I don't drink with customers.
I'd be happy to throw in a chili dog with that drink.
Well, an offer like that, oh, that's hard to refuse. But no thanks. So, is there something I can do for you? Yeah, you know, I remember Rook told me about the burglary. You know, I remember a stranger hanging around the past couple of days. It might be a dead end, but I seem to remember that the guy had these bright green eyes and a tattoo of an anchor on his arm. Wish I could help you there, Tex. Sorry, I haven't heard anything about that. The crusade is big. I mean, much bigger than most people know. They have operatives all over, and then these huge sections of the norm population are joining. Well, they say it's a religion, but then they encourage the members to be violent and prejudiced towards others. Wish I could help you there, Tex. Luckily, Ardo seems to like me. I mean, if I were on his bad side, I'd be tempted to relocate. He could crush a Subaru with one hand. Sal's a handful. He's a nice guy, but I don't know, I feel kind of naked when he gives me the eye. Franny's a live wire. Either she or Sal is going to do time for killing the other one. I have never seen a couple fight like they do. I love Louis, but his friendliness doesn't fool me. He's a sharp one. He knows everything that's going on in this neighborhood. Oh, you know me, Tex. I'm just making ends meet. Rook acts like a tough guy, but he's a softie. Just don't tell him that to his face.
The Bijou Theater used to be quite a night spot. It was condemned years ago and could collapse any day. There's no way I'm going in there. Looks like someone took a pee here. The most interesting thing about these movie posters is that someone hasn't stolen them yet. I haven't seen Mac Malden since the Martian Memorandum case. I remember him as a surly, incompetent, fat-nosed cop. As I step into his office, I can see he's changed. His nose is even bigger.
Well, if it isn't Tex Murphy. I figured you'd be dead by now.
I could say the same about you. When's the last time you had your cholesterol checked?
Still the wise guy, eh, Murphy? It was great to see you. Now get lost!
Oh, come on. Remember the Martian Memorandum case? Hey, we made a swell team.
Yeah, those were the days. I don't get cases like that anymore. Things are harder now. The mayor's office is all over me again. You heard about the string of pawn shop robberies? We have no suspects, and I'm catching the heat for it.
So you and your crack team of detectives have no leads?
Of course we have leads, you pots. We know he's a Norm, Caucasian, and has AB negative blood. That narrows down our list of suspects to about 1 million. Now get out of my hair. I got work to do.
Oh, looks like Mr. Bum is home for the evening.
Yeah, what do you want?
Looks like you're busy drowning your troubles, my good man.
Well, Mr. High and Mighty, what are you, a preacher or something?
No, I'm just a man like you, who's been down on his luck.
Look at me, I'm crying. Now what is it you want?
Just a few precious minutes of your valuable time.
You're quite a comedian. Why don't you take your act on the road? Oh no, not you again. Look, I'll warn you right now, I'm almost out of chocolate syrup and I'm not in a good mood.
Look, I'll do you a favor. If you're free Thursday, I'll take you to the Chocoholics Anonymous meeting.
Spare me the insults, tough guy. If you got something to say, spill it.
I tried to forget you, I really did. But I had to come back and see what I could do to help you get back on your feet.
God, you are a pest!
This is where Louis throws out the garbage. Street people come from miles around to sample Louis's award-winning leftovers. The brew and stew is run by Louis Lamintz, a bloated mutant with a heart bigger than his waistline. Everyone comes to Louis's cafe, so does all the street talk. If something's going on, Louis knows about it.
What can I do for you, Mike?
Nothing for me, Louis. I just dropped by to chat.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Well, Louis, you're the grapevine around here. Anything interesting going on?
Well, I've been hearing a lot about this crusade for genetic purity movement. It's got a lot of tension stirred up between mutants and norms. Mutants have been protesting downtown and there's been some violence. Rook's an ornery old cuss, but me and him are old buddies. We fought in the big war together. He's one person you can trust in these troubled times. Chelsea acts tough, but she has to be with all the scum around. And she's as smart as she is pretty. She knows a lot of what goes on in the shadows of this city. Yeah, things are a little slow, but I'm getting by. Having to lay off some of my kitchen help hurt my pride more than anything. Granny's a fireball. She and Sal opened the pizza place 7 to 8 years ago, and they've been fighting ever since. Sal's a big guy with an appetite for food, wine, and women. He comes by here most every day for lunch. Bardo comes in now and again. Usually orders a couple of steaks and a chocolate milk. His temper's as short as he is tall. And he's only got one oar in the water. A bad combination. Sorry, Mife. Can't help you there. Ever since the Crusade started up, the relations between Norns and mutants has gone to pot. I've had rocks thrown through my windows, graffiti sprayed on the bricks outside. There's not much I can do, though. He's one of the few Norns besides you who's eaten here. Seems like a typical cop. A little dim, and not too concerned about what happens in the mutant sections of town. Rook told me about the bracelet, but I don't know anything more about it. Rook's been robbed before, but he's never had anything really valuable taken. This is gonna set Rook back for a while. Too bad the cops have turned a blind eye.
You want to try a slice of my chocolate pie? I can give you a piece to go if you like.
The Bruin Stew has the nicest parking lot in 7 counties. Ah, the once majestic Chandler Avenue. There's enough radiation in this asphalt to fry an egg on Christmas morning. Francesca Lucido makes the spiciest pizza in the city. The only thing spicier than her cooking is her imagination.
This isn't a good time for a social call, punk. If I don't get it fixed soon, I'll go insane! Dory me for a lot to do!
I don't make a practice of helping out addicts, but I think I've got something that will ease the pain.
Oh, hold out on me, man. If you've got something, let's have it. Praise heaven! You brought the ambrosia of life. Ask me anything you want. Rook, he leaves me alone. Can't ask for more than that. I saw someone prowling around the back of the pawn shop last night. It was so dark, I didn't get a good look at him, but I could tell he was huge. Probably 6'3" or 6'4", about 300 pounds. Wish I could help. Nope, don't know a thing about it. I stay out of politics, especially bad politics. I think Chelsea used to fancy me, till she found out my only true love was chocolate. Damn near broke her heart. Nice guy, good cook. Every National Feed a Bum Day, he brings me one of his award-winning chocolate pies. Ugh. The only time I ever see Sal is when he gets drunk and comes by to pick a fight. Then I kick his butt and send him on his way. I don't have much to do with her. They don't serve anything with chocolate in it at the pizza joint. That big goon, he used to hassle me until I shared a quart of chocolate syrup with him. Now he lets me alone. I stay out of politics. Sorry.
The Golden Gate Hotel was once known as the Waldorf of the Pacific. Its halls are still sturdy, and the walls have worn well. Looks like a welcome mat, but when it's on the doorstep of a novelty shop. Whoa, a key. Just a couple of empty old packing boxes. Rusty, the clown from hell. No wonder this place went under. Probably scared off all his business. Ooh, a small nozzle. Probably a helium dispenser used for filling balloons. Cool. A plastic dart crossbow. It'll make a nice addition to my non-violent weapon collection. Looks like my 4th grade teacher. Well, this must be Mr. Grimm. He's a reaper. Oh, this is a scary mask. Why, it's Mr. Sloppy Lasagna Eater. I'll bet this is a real popular mask. Wow, the limited edition Daryl Hannah wig and mannequin set. These weapons are all made of plastic. All bark and no bite. They're completely useless. Looks like some kind of in-house television.
Hi kids, it's me, Inspector Burns. And as we all know, fire can be our friend, but fire can be our foe. So many times, fire starts so carelessly. And what can fires do? Fires burn you. Never, never light matches. No, no, no. Fire is dangerous. Fire made me look like this. Do you want to look like me? No, no, no. Don't look like Inspector Burns. Don't play with matches.
These weapons are all made of plastic. Whoa! For a second there, I thought someone had decapitated Inspector Burns and left his head on the floor. What a great mask. Well, I have no idea what I'd ever do with a stacking ring, but what the heck. This wig probably sells well during the Bay Area Yodeling Festival. A mask of the king? That's blasphemy! Whoa, this wig would even make someone like me look glamorous. This wig must be quite popular with shy people. If I can unlock this door, I may be able to go where only clowns have gone before. Apparently, Rusty was very fond of empty cardboard boxes. It's a Rusty Clown life-size doll. Wow! It's a dead ringer for... Oh, no pun intended. I can't get over how lifelike this doll is. It didn't have a hook on the back and a battery compartment. I'd swear it was Rusty himself. Rusty says, clean up the mess. Sounds like Rusty ran a pretty tight ship. Posters in here tell you more than you'd ever care to know about film processing. A plastic suction dart can be formidable ammo in the hands of an expert like myself. A balloon strategically located near the water faucet. Looks like Rusty didn't go down without a fight. The sink must have been used for developing photos. Why in the world would Rusty keep a barrel of toxic acid? Oh, Lordy. So this is where Rusty ended up. What a way to go. I'm willing to bet he didn't crawl in here on his own. Someone murdered him. Portable helium. Just undo the knot and breathe deeply. The Scotch guard that...
Hi, Tex. How's the investigation going? Is there anything I can do to help? Oh, I remember Rusty. He had a kid show on TV when I was young. I hated the show. That clown makeup always scared me. Oh yeah, I know Beak. If you want to talk to him, you might try hanging out around Coy Tower. Sorry, I haven't heard anything about that.
I heard this newspaper box got destroyed right after Chelsea opened her newsstand. Coincidence? I walk up the steps to Coy Tower and spot a small figure lurking in the shadows. In the half light I can see only the person's profile, but it's definitely Beak. As I walk towards him, he glances around.
What are you staring at?
You must be Beak Nerys.
Huh? Yeah, that's me. But I ain't smelled you before. Who are you?
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a PI and I'm trying to solve a burglary.
I don't like PIs. You're always nosing into everyone's business.
Maybe I've got something here in my coat you could really use.
Hey, you got some peanuts, don't you? I smell salty peanuts.
I went to the circus last week and put some peanuts in my pocket, but they're all gone now, Beak.
Well, if you ain't got salty peanuts, what have you got to trade for info? Come on, give me something I can use. What you doing? I don't want that. What's that? You're pulling my leg. Okay, I can use this. My nose has started sagging lately. Makes it hard to breathe. Now, what kind of info you looking for, I haven't got any info on that. Chelsea! Smart girl and a real looker to boot. She's got a cute little nose. I can't help you there. She runs that pizza place with her husband, Sal. I don't know much about her. A true Italian knows, though. He lets his wife run the pizza joint. I don't know what he does, though I've heard some things about who he does. You can tell he drinks a lot by that snarls of his. I haven't got any info on that. I know a little about him. Runs a pretty successful PI business. Big trouble. It's causing mutant blood to boil, and I don't want to be around when the bullets start flying. Anyone with a hunker like that can't be all bad. Malden's no rocket scientist, but I hear that he's not on the take. I've helped him out a couple of times, so he leaves me alone. The bracelet is the bait Mick Flem uses for the pawn shop robberies. Rook's pawn shop was robbed by a two-bit crook named Mick Flem. He and his girlfriend have knocked off half a dozen pawn shops over the past month. The girl goes to a pawn shop and hawks a bracelet for a decent amount of cash. Then Flem breaks into the pawn shop and steals the bracelet, along with anything else he finds. Mick Flam's rap sheet would take a day to read. He's a fat scum, and he's an idiot to boot. That's why he's always getting caught. He's been busted for burglary, mail fraud, arson, you name it. Everyone knows he operates out of the Snow White warehouse, but don't tell him. Oh, I'm nobody. I just try to keep my nose clean and my ear to the ground. Oh, wait a minute. Or was that vice versa? I think he's dead, and I'll bet Mick Flam had something to do with it. Word was the two of them were smuggling illegal novelty items from Hong Kong, and Rusty crossed Flam. Ever since Rusty disappeared, Flam has had a terrible fear of clowns. Bozophobia. I once saw Flem pretty drunk, and he said he had nightmares of Rusty's ghost coming back to haunt him from the grave. He was completely terrified.
Ah, the once majestic Chandler Avenue. The Acme Warehouse is the former Snow White dry cleaning building. Nobody's used this place in a while. If Flem is working out of this warehouse, it looks like he got careless. The door's unlocked. If this is Mick Flem's hangout, he'll probably be back soon. I better try and set some sort of trap for him. Ooh, this barrel smells like it shouldn't be opened. I don't think I'll move any of these pallets because they look like big slivers waiting to happen. I'll have to remember this stack of 2x4s when I get around to building some furniture for my office. Well, this is definitely the most threatening condemnation notice I've ever seen. Yummy! A bottle of turnip schnapps. I'll bet it's got a real kick. This table and the bottle on it aren't dusty like everything else here. Someone's used this recently. Well, this is actually a storage compartment. Looks like it requires a special combination key. These large doors look like they haven't been opened since my last date. This must be the power box for the warehouse, and it's locked. Crate smells like laundry soap. Crate in front on the floor seems to be partially opened. Apparently some fireman dropped off his uniform to be cleaned and forgot to pick it up. This key must fit a lock around here somewhere. Hopefully this isn't a self-destruct lever. The sound is coming from up on the landing. Looks like the on-off switch controls a pulley hook. It's running back and forth along a track. The heavy footsteps I hear must be Flem. Luckily, my rusty trap's all set. I'll need to find a hiding place as close as possible to the pulley control box. When Flem least expects it, I'll throw the pulley lever and bring Rusty back from the dead. Whoa, the glow-in-the-dark Rusty clown doll looks pretty spooky dangling up there in the dark.
It's me, Rusty Kids, and I'm here. Mommy's come back.
Damn, I'm good. This has to be Rook's bracelet. This table and the bottle on it aren't dusty like everything else here. Someone's used this recently. Mick ran off without his keys. I'll bet at least one of these will come in handy. A locked box within a locked box. It must contain something worth having. The strong box is too sturdy to break open. I'll need the key. What do we have here? Unless I miss my guess, this is jade. It's good quality, too. This business sign should be on the outside of the building. No wonder they went out of business.
I'm telling you, it's impossible. It can't be done. I've tried everything.
The prophecy is very clear. We can't go on until this step is completed. Surely your unique skills give you opportunity?
My ability has gotten us nowhere. Capricorn got there before me. They're always one step ahead of me. It's like they can read my mind.
We can't let them stop us. Maybe we can use your skills on someone else. I've made inquiries. And if he hasn't gotten himself killed, maybe he's just what we need. Murphy. Tex Murphy.
I feel better today than I've felt in a long time. Boy, did I stun Rook when I walked in and handed him that bracelet. Okay, so getting the bracelet back doesn't make me Detective of the Year, but it does stimulate the confidence glands. Maybe I can succeed at this business and turn my career around. But if I'm gonna do that, I better do something about my fax machine. Who knows how many new opportunities I've missed to show the world my greatness.